Yep, pretty good. Good volume. So, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Crossout. What is going on with this game? This game is about building your own car, or really you don't even have to call it a car because some things that people make or you can make doesn't even end up looking like a car at all. So, make some kind of wheeled creation and then battle it against other players. So let's just say you just got the game. This is going to be your starter car, and it's going to put you in the garage here. If you're like me, you are going to check all these little tabs and see what's going on with this game, what all these things mean, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's just say you want to get in here and play the game. So first things first, you're going to want to build. This is the main screen, the garage. You can battle, test drive your car, and build from here. First of all, let's just build. On the right here you can see power score, structure, total parts, energy, mass, acceleration, speed. All these things are actually really important. There's a lot of things that go into building your car. If you distribute weight poorly on your car will suffer acceleration and poor handling. So there's a lot of things you want to think about, but also you can kind of just keep it simple. So let's just say you started out and you've got these two little machine guns here. You're going to press the right trigger or right bumper for Xbox, and it's going to give you a breakdown of what all these things, hotkeys, do basically. Basically just want to go to the storage, middle, I don't really know what this button's even called, but the middle button for the PlayStation, and you're just going to find your machine guns. You can sort by categories here, by weapons, and to start off you're just going to have these little starter machine guns. You know, it gives you different stats for these, which are basically straightforward. Structure means how many hit points, how much damage it can take before it's destroyed. So things with higher structure are going to take longer, going to be tankier, but perhaps are going to have disadvantages like this, for example. This machine gun has higher structure than its other counterpart, but it has limited firing angle, and it'll tell you that at the top. So basically just have to read what it says. But let's just keep things simple here. Put two machine guns on. You can see the yellow boxes are where things are mounted. So if I put something here, it really has more mounting capabilities, but it'll kind of reduce my ability to fire my guns super effectively. So let's do that. And we can actually put 3 machine guns on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this. And what you can always do is you can test drive this. Make sure this works out to your liking. You can see here my right trigger is going to fire all 3 machine guns, and if I aim them in a certain direction where they can't fire, they'll be basically go gray. So you want to make sure you can fire your machine guns where you need to fire, and all of them basically to be super effective. You can test drive and fight your own little creation here, so you can see kind of how long your own car will last against a barrage of whatever guns you're adding on. You can also spawn bots here. And there we go, any minute now. Start to fight, play against some bots here. And what you can see I'm doing is I'm not holding my machine guns down, I don't know really what to call it, tapping them and releasing them so that they don't ideally overheat. If I hold them down all the way, you can see the orange bar is going to fill up, and now I can't even shoot them. So if you're overheating your guns, you're basically putting out less DPS than if you manage the, let's just say, manage the heat appropriately. So boom, we got eliminated. So you can just kind of make sure your car works out. So that's literally all you have to do to get your starter car going here. And you're going to have these options. You're going to have to just start with the beginning one and jump in. So let's just jump into a battle here. You're gonna basically, you know, get the machine gun at level 1, and you're gonna have to unlock these as you go. Every time you beat this, if you get enough reputations, if you do well enough in the battle, you're gonna have a random chance to get one of these rewards. This is just a random part of common rarity. So what that means is, as you unlock all of these, and you're starting to craft some things, you're gonna want to farm your materials just by kind of seeing what you can get from each one. So fuel barrel, car jack, and a machine gun. Once we get into crafting, you'll see, you know, certain things will acquire these different materials. If we look at, it's not going to let me look at these others while we're in the queue for this one, but get the shotgun obviously has different rewards, so on and so forth, all the way down. So, you know, they're going to require like level 6 to unlock or something. Eventually we'll find a match here. I'm assuming it's struggling to find me a match because right now my car is very low level, like it's just the starter car, and there's not a ton of people probably at this level right now. Alright. Yo, what's up, DJ? Yeah, I did get Killing Floor 2, I believe. I'm pretty sure. So here we go, encounter. So, it's a base race. Not a base race. There's 1 point on the map, which is at the bottom right, which you can see by that little white arrow. We have to get to that point and cap it. So, by sitting on the point, we will slowly capture the point. If there's enemies on the point, you will not be able to capture the point. So you have to destroy all enemies, have only your team on the point, and it will slowly go up to 100. I'm just gonna, you know, we're not playing to win necessarily right here, I just want to show you guys. So my own team is shooting me, so it's kind of confusing. So here we go, the enemy team is on the point, and it's slowly going to count up to 100. If it gets to 100, they win. So a lot of games what you'll have is no one on your team will go on the point, so you'll be like the only person on the point. So like right now, for example, I'm the only person on the point. I had teammates behind me, but for some reason they didn't follow me until now, so they were all late. I'm just going to point out basically, you know, what's going on, what my teammates are doing wrong. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm aiming at the top. I'm just going to shoot their guns off. Boom, no more guns for that guy. So that guy is basically ineffective. So there's two things you can kind of do. You can aim for their guns, or you can aim for the cabin. The cabin is where the quote-unquote driver sits that you never see. That's 3 kills for me. My car's getting destroyed here though. DJ, you should download this game. You guys should check out this game, Crossout. So as long as this gets to 100 here and no enemies get in this circle, it will slowly keep going. As soon as one enemy gets into this circle, until they're destroyed, it will halt the capping. So it will stop going up to, it will stop counting up to 100 basically. So what the enemy wants to do now is rush in here and try to stop us. Looks like there's just 2 bots there, so nothing they can do. So we got a victory, went up to a, wow, this is amazing. So we got a really good reward here. And let's just like use this as an example. So yeah, let's just say, or let's go to mission, stats, 3 kills, 0 assists, 1800 score. So how did I get over double everyone else's, whoops, okay, we gotta play one more. How did I get double over everyone else's score? Oh, here we go, we can back out. The reason is because you get extra points for shooting off parts on your enemy's car. So if you shoot off their guns, their wheels, just anything, armaments on the car besides the cabin, you'll get extra points. Obviously there are times where you just want to focus down the cabin. Just to be clear, right, this is the cabin, so this right here. I just watched a nice video about them fixing the working on the mobile app. Alright, so this is the cabin, right? if this is destroyed, the driver inside dies and the car blows up. So ultimately, there'll be times where you want to focus this down, but you get parts for blowing off everything on the car. Alright, so let's say you did a match and you just noticed I got that reward, and I don't know if that was lucky. It feels really lucky. And let's just pretend I don't have all these parts here. Let's just go to what we got. This is really, really nice. Read this now. It says, increases reputation gain after battle by 1%. Twitch should be fired. I know they're working on the mobile app to make it like better every day, and every week they add like more updates to it. So I know it's gonna get there. So we're gonna put this and protect the back of our thing here. Just putting this here, since if you look at the item, it has structure, it will block shots. So, not too many, maybe one or two, but it will be a barrier. This is so good though because it increases our reputation gain after battle by 1%. So that means we're just getting more EXP. Just take a quick second to talk about the garage here, because let's say you've done a couple battles, you have some things to add to your car. Your structure, 310, that's your cabin power. That means, well, it's not really your cabin power, but it's the power of your vehicle, how much damage you can kind of take overall. You want to try to maximize that, maximize your structure, while maximizing, kind of weight and the total parts that you use. And we'll get to that in just a second here. Your energy is how many guns/weapons you can have, which is determined by your cabin. And the cabin will tell you 7 points of energy. So in a second here, you'll see that we will have found, after you play a couple battles, you'll unlock this cabin just naturally by playing. You'll get the Huntsman cabin. So why is that good? Well, it gives us an extra energy. So what that means is we can take out that, and we're going to put an extra gun here. So now it raises our power score a little bit. We see our energy is maxed out, so we can't put any more weapons on unless we take something off. But now we have 4 guns, which is awesome. Since I have these and we're just showing you guys, I'm just going to put this on. I have some cool little aesthetic things. I've just found these the same way I just found that one item. So you can just get these by playing. It's very low chance. These are just boosting my EXP, so that's really all we're doing here. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing game breaking here. I just want to get more EXP. And if you have these, if you've found these and you can spare putting them on your car, you're going to want to put as many of these as you can afford to, obviously, because it's going to increase your EXP. Yeah, Mad Max. Yeah, this is... So here we go, we do that. So now we have double brake lights. I actually just got those, which is pretty cool. This is another thing I found that was just lucky. So this thing just dropped. This is nice because it's a blue, so it gives me 2% power. 2%, sorry, more energy. So, I'm just putting these on, these things that I've found here. If you get lucky, you'll find a couple of these, but you can see I just did one battle, the first one. So this is awesome is because it's not really adding a lot of tankiness to my vehicle, but look at my reputation bonus, plus 16%. So I'm getting almost 20% extra EXP for participating in these battles, which is really nice. So let's just do one more battle here. And let's say you're going to do the shotgun now. We unlocked the first one. Let's do the next one. And you'll notice I'm always going to be shooting off people's guns or people's wheels, because if you're immobile, you're basically almost as useless as if your guns are gone, right? So we'll talk more about the different types of guns, but these are machine guns, right? So they're good at medium to long range. Shotguns obviously close range, cannons long range, and you know, can be deadly if you use them correctly. Yeah, monster truck, right? And you can make, I'll show you in a second here, you can make something pretty cool looking, slash pretty crazy looking, and you know, basically you can solve the same way I put those machine guns on. You can put any other guns you want. So you can put on shotguns, try a cannon. So as you know, you're gonna have machine guns obviously to start, right? Then you're gonna unlock shotguns, try those out, see how you liked playing with those. Try a couple different guns out till you basically find the style you like. Machine guns are just really strong because, again, they're good at medium. Sorry, when I say long, I didn't really mean long, but you know, medium-ish long to short range. And so they're very balanced. You can see I sit back. So right now, this is assault mode, right? And they're capping our base. You can see the top. That little thing is going up. If that reaches to 3, they will straight up win. So I'm just rushing over to try to stop it from reaching up. Unfortunately, none of my other teammates realize that this is important, so none of them are even here. I'm just sacrificing myself to try to stall, but what's gonna happen is I'm gonna die, and now they're gonna cap up to 3, and we're just gonna lose immediately. So what they did was they basically avoided fighting. They just raced to our base and just capped it up to 3 points. Instead of on encounter where there's only 1 point, on assault, each team has a base. So if you just rush to the other team's base and no one's there, like what just happened, and no one else comes back to defend, you can get just kind of like a free win without fighting. I think it's dumb because like the point should be, you know, blowing everyone, blowing each other up, but yeah, it happens. So what the ideal situation there would have been is if my team had come back with me, and then we would have all fought at the point, because if we had just killed all of them there, we could potentially win. If you kill all the enemy and or cap the base, those are the 2 ways you can win. So we could have killed all of them there. It would have, you know, stalled out the timer. It would have stalled out the cap, right? And then we could have potentially won that. Alright, so, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. People don't really know what's going on in this. Alright, so I'm picking parts that you're going to have at the very beginning. You're going to unlock this minivan sideboard from the base faction, and you're going to be able to add stuff like this onto your vehicle. And I'm just kind of doing it. And let's just say we're at 1822 now. One thing that's really, really important that is not super known to people is fuel. We're going to talk a little bit more about it when you get to raiding, but just for now, the purposes of at the very beginning of the game, you're going to want to find a fuel barrel. Once you find a fuel barrel, you're going to want to put this baby on your car. The problem with the fuel barrel is if it explodes, it deals damage, which is obviously bad. The good thing is you can do something like this where you can actually make your frame, you can hollow out your frame of your car, and you can hide these things underneath. So in just 1 second here. So let's see, is that better like that? I think that's oh wait, no, it's not better. We need this to go out. Alright, so let's go ahead and There we go. Wait. Nope, still not. One more. So basically, long story short, as long as your cabin... There we go. Is that too far out? As long as your cabin is touching parts of your frame and your wheels are connected, it will all work. You can see this frame part is not touching this frame part, but both are touching the cabin, which are connected to the wheels. So that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide this barrel underneath here. And yeah, this adds power score, so why am I doing this? Why am I adding something that explodes and adds power score to my car? The reason is, if I survive a PvP battle with that barrel, I will gain 5 fuel, and hopefully we're just going to do that right now and see what happens. But let's put this here. Little more tankiness for our car here. And so ideally, we know that you're gonna have a van side, so let's put one of these here. And you can see what's happening is the structure of my car is increased. So basically, as I'm doing this, my car is becoming tankier. What that means is, obviously, it can take more hits. So this is great. This is good news. We want to be able to absorb as many hits as we can. What is happening, though, of course, right, is my power score is increasing. So I'll be matched up against people with a power score around or equal to me. So one thing I've heard people say is, just add as much stuff to your car as you can. That is not the way you want to do it. You want to add things intelligently to your car. If I just added a bunch of random stuff to the back here, that would really do almost nothing to my, to help me out. What I do want to do is add things like this, for example, that will protect the front of my car. So now if I get hit from a cannon in the front, this is going to get hit first before my cabin gets hit, right? And it's all about protecting the cabin, because when that blows up, your driver blows up, i.e. you blow up. So what we can do here is, I could protect this fuel barrel, I could put frames around the outside, but that's actually not a terrible idea, to be honest. Really though, we don't need to. What I'm going to do now is, you want something underneath your car, you want to make sure so those don't stick out quite enough. So let's go here, let's take, and they're going to make this, garage a lot better. It's a little, I wouldn't say hard to navigate, but it could be a little better. Like for example, when I go underneath here, I have to like move underneath, right? When you're placing things, and really, when you get some really complicated creations, you'll see it gets a little bit trickier. But okay, so now 2054, 2 things to protect. I've got 2 things in the front that I can ram with and deal damage with. A little bit later on, it's going to be really important that you have things to get up under your enemies, right? If you're a close range vehicle, you want to make sure you don't get flipped, and you want to make sure you can flip other cars that you ram into. So let's just go into battle again here. And again, we've just, we're just going through these. You'll all see these will be unlock at level 5, unlock at level 6. So you're just going to go through. Let's try to win a battle here, get lucky. That is just crazy. It is. It's really crazy, and it's really fun. It gets, obviously right now I'm using just everything you can basically get at the beginning. Except for, of course, the little extra ones. And these would be, actually, you know what? Yeah, these are specific to a certain faction, but if you don't have that, you're just going to replace that, with the one that they give you, right? So that would be the one that you have that they give you. The reason why I use this is because this is actually lighter and has a little bit more structure. It does the same damage It might be heavier, I wasn't paying attention, but it does same damage for a little bit more structure. So it'll actually tank just slightly better. And there's little things like that you want to pay attention to. Sometimes you're going to want something heavier in the front. So having something heavier, you know, or lighter is going to be better, or whatever. So now we are rocking. Look at this monster. We are good to go now. So now you can see the bottom number, 415. That is my structure points. When that gets to 0, you are out of here. Oh shit. So you want to make sure and then whenever you see things that are called like Daniel, John, Mary, Sue, those are bots. So if you have the option, you're going to want to not focus those. You notice how my teammates are all killing the bots? You're going to want to focus the other players first. Obviously there's some circumstances where, you know, again, everything I'm saying is not like 100% true 100% of the time, right? But definitely a lot of the time. What you can do, what I like to do is I just basically shoot. Oh, this guy is shredding me. Let's see if we can outmaneuver him. Damn it, there's too many of them. There we go. Alright, so you always want to be looking at the mini-map, making sure. Okay, so you see how he's red in his car? He's self-destructing. If you hold those the two middle sticks, up until that bar fills up, you will start your self-destruct timer. You won't self-destruct immediately, but you'll start a timer and will self-destruct. I might... Oh, hello. See, self-destructing, and it just gave me the assist for those. But yeah, you can see, kind of just keep your distance, play smart, and here we go. We got 5 fuel. That is really, really crucial. Let's go back, obviously. Because he's stuck. Yep. So yeah, you can flip yourself. You can add something to your car that allows you to flip yourself in case that happens. But yeah, you can ram people, flip them, get yourself flipped. Alright, so let me make sure this is showing up here. Alright, so we got the fuel. Whenever you go to your storage, you can see everything you've gotten. You can sort by, you know, lots of useful things. Power score, energy, mass, structure, newest first, so see what you've recently attained. Here's your fuel. Here's what's going to happen. You can both, so on PS4 and PC it's going to be a little bit different than PC. And yeah, you do keep your parts when you lose them, absolutely. Everything is destroyed in combat is kept with you. Basically, I can just make 4 different cars with all the parts that I have here, 4 different creations, and I can like cycle between them. And I'll show you that in just a second here. But the fuel is really, really important. I'm basically kind of, you know, going in chronological order. Like, you just got the game, you just did some PvP missions, you got some fuel. You want to put that barrel on immediately. Immediately. Because you want to try to farm this fuel. On PS4 and Xbox, you can sell this fuel. 100 fuel sells for a lot of coin. And coin is a currency that you can buy both with real money, or you can get in the game by selling items. So that's the only way you can get coin, is by selling items on the market. And the market is like an auction house. So since we've done a couple games, let's talk about kind of the main menu here. you're gonna keep farming basically until level 10. Level 10 means you're gonna have level 10 with your main faction, your engineers. At level 10, you're gonna get to choose an extra faction. And that's really, really cool, because then you're gonna basically get to customize your car in more unique ways. Lunatics are gonna be your kind of lightweight, your fast, yeah, your kind of chaotic class. And you know, I don't want to go too crazy into everything, but you can kind of see what they can make. You have blue items, you require different materials, you have purple items. In fact, I need to craft an item right now. And you have, oh wait, no, we're almost there. And you have epic slash legendaries. Wait, I think these are legendaries, yeah. And these are going to take a long time to make, so don't worry too much about that. Just think about what kind of style you like. So these guys are going to have shotguns, unguided missiles, so chaotic missiles, melee weapons. They're also going to have access to the best generator, the small track, so a fast moving track, and things like the improved engine, the improved cooler, and the Hermes booster. So kind of for speed, making your car maneuver, and yeah, basically speed and energy bonuses. How's it going, Sly Thief? How are you doing? Your nomads are going to be kind of your balanced class. Nomads are really popular. They're going to have really good machine guns. They're going to have really good autocannon. They're going to have drones. And then you're going to have access to the minigun. The first minigun, I should say. The purple minigun. Then you're going to have the chameleon, which lets you go invisible. And you're going to have the hardened track. Hey Sly Thief, I'm just doing a beginner's guide on this game right now, so I don't know if you're new to Crossout or you've been playing, but I'm just kind of running through the kind of basics of the game, like if you're kind of just starting out, and I'll get to more advanced stuff. How to adjust screen size. Talking about in-game? Because in-game... Are you on a PC, PS4, or Xbox? Because in-game you're going to adjust the distance with this. The Xbox and PS4 aren't going to really give you any in-game video options. So if you need to change the video settings, you're on PS4? Okay, wow. Okay, so it's probably your TV. Your TV might have multiple displays. For example, widescreen, full screen. That's the only thing I can think of. Because yeah, I'm using a crazy monitor. But I know that one time when I did have a different monitor, and that was when I couldn't see things, that was the main issue, was the display on my actual monitor or TV needed to be adjusted to like a full screen or like a widescreen or like a, you know, I don't know, like a scaled zoom or something. Let me know how that works out. So getting back to the nomads, really balanced, so their materials have good structure and they have good armor. Another cool thing is, as you unlock levels for these factions, you can make, they have little their own creations that you can do. So you're going to unlock, you know, new parts for them that you can add to your own custom creation, but they're also going to give you things that you can make with them. So you can see I can unlock this one. I could make this, you know, if I had all these parts. What you can also do is you can make this, right, and then change stuff around. You can also test drive it, so, you know, you can try it out, see it's like, you know, do I like this? Do I want to build up to this? So what's really cool is, right, you've just started the game, you don't have anything, you haven't spent any money, you're not gonna spend any money. You can test drive a lot of things and see what kind of guns you like, how guns work, and basically, yeah, do that. So they've got the Retcher, the Reaper. So each class, has kind of two main big guns. They're gonna have different features like drones, wheels, a certain kind of radar. So each class kind of has their strengths. Each class also has a special cabin that you're gonna want to see and see if you like the stats. So kind of good structure, high energy, so lots of guns you could do, but fairly lightweight. So you can't make this thing too heavy. It is going to be pretty fast though, compared to, let's go back real quick, very high speed, very high max speed, right? Not as much power, a little bit less energy, and way lighter. So like it says, yet very sensitive to mass changes. So if you don't build this thing properly with this cabin, you're gonna get flipped. Let's go on to the scavengers. They are going to be your tanky, kind of slower ones. They've got powerful cannons, some melee weapons, the trucker cabin, which is really tanky, slower, but really heavy. And they're going to have things like the heavy generator, the large wheel. They also have the Fat Man cannon and the executioner. So, really nice cannons, grenade launcher, homing missile, pretty cool. And then they have the slowest but most armored track you can get. Keep in mind purples you're not gonna have purples immediately. It's gonna take a little bit to farm up to those because you do need the materials. The Steppenwolves are like your end game class. Like everyone is gonna get them eventually, but you need level 25 with your base class. But yeah, you just have a couple useful things that you're just gonna get. The Jawbreaker cabin, really strong cabin. Good stats overall, everything. You're gonna have crazy things like a guided missile you can shoot out and aim, crazy mechanical slow leg, an auto-targeting turret that looks pretty cool, and a crazy tanky thing. And of course, the end game. This will be seen occasionally, but not very often. It's a crazy artillery cannon. The main people have some stuff too that you're gonna want to do, but they don't have anything super crazy except for these like, I don't know what these are called, relics. So these are like the ultimate ones that you're basically not gonna get for forever. One thing to keep in mind is you can craft unlimited from this one, but you're honestly not gonna want to use your scrap. One thing to keep in mind is don't sell almost anything at the beginning, because you're gonna want to find out what you need for materials. And let's just take for example, a lot of these like whites that you're finding are really not gonna sell for that much. Like this sells for almost 1. This sells for 0.5, 0.3. Granted, this is definitely more than on PC, but like you can see I have 13 of these. I'm not going to sell these until I finish crafting what I need to craft, because again, this is chump change. At 478, I've made all this coin by just selling fuel barrels. So just farming fuel barrels and selling these has gotten me all the money I need for right now. Checked, damn, that was a while. Alright, so yeah, so keep everything because you don't know what you're gonna need to craft, and stuff could be useful. So that's kind of the factions. Market is an auction house, so player-based market. So yeah, basically, so what you can see here is we don't need to get too much into the auction house because again, we're gonna do a free-to-play. This is like a free-to-play guide, and I don't really like flipping things on the market. I think it's kind of like cheesy and it's boring. It's not really like fun to do. So What you can see here is I've purchased these for very low price, because you can create your own price. So when you find something that you want to buy, you're going to find the item, you're going to post up your price that you want to spend, and then if someone else matches that price, sells something, you will obviously get the item. But if there's multiple people, you know, also getting the same item, you have to kind of be careful, you have to think about it. If you put something, right, and you buy something that's like super low, don't expect to get that item anytime soon. If you overpay for something, you'll get it immediately, right? Someone will see that someone wants to buy that item for higher than the market price, and then they'll just sell it to you. So, just like a normal market. One thing to note, everything on PS4 and PS4 and Xbox is super high right now. So what that means is right now, you want to sell your fuel for money, because right now, everything is so overpriced, it's worth it. Later on, fuel is going to drop, everything is going to drop, so basically just get as much coin as you can now while you can. Storage is just all your parts, so just you can see what you have. The same way you can basically go to build, and this is storage too. When you go to build and you go to the parts, it takes you literally to the storage menu. Shop is the store, so we don't care about that because we're free to play. Exhibition is really cool. You can see other people's creations. What you can also do is you can also post your own, you know, things up on here. But let's say you wanted to make something at 2K. So someone else built this. You can see what you're missing. And you can save this to your, like, blueprints, and you can load this up. So let's say I test drive, I really like this. Alright, so one thing I already don't like is, I don't know if they do this on purpose, but the guns are shooting on the same trigger, so you need to have these two guns on different buttons. It just makes no sense. Because let's say, for example, now I have to hold this, and then I have to, oh yeah, okay. And yeah, and the weight distribution on the car is really bad too. So you can see how easily I just flipped. So if this thing gets touched or rammed at all, it's done. So this would be like an example of, hey, I want to try this in PvP. Well, I just tested this out, and this would be really bad in PvP. You know, obviously they called it a sniper, so you keep your distance. And there'll be games where that works out. But if you get any of those games where your teammates aren't super great, you get rushed down, you're just dead. Does it matter which missions you play, or how do you get the same amount of XP? Yeah, so your XP is based on how well you do in the game. So it doesn't matter which missions you do now. So yeah, there's nothing really good. I need to post up something. Alright, so exhibition season. Okay, this is really important. This is really important. So if you're going to play this game for the long haul, like if you're not just going to play this game casually, you're going to play, like, you want to play this game for the grind, you want to get into it, this is going to be one of the most important things. Did I already do this? Get reward. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the hard one. And this is going to be your goal for the season, and you know, I'm getting in trouble here. If I don't do this, I'm gonna need help to finish this probably in time, because yeah, I'm way behind. But basically, you're gonna just literally read these. Win 10 battles. Install boosters of rarity and rare and higher. So that means blue. And then what you want to pay attention to is completed in missions and brawls. So that means PvP. Missions and brawls is PvP. Raids is PvE. And yeah, to address your question a little bit more in depth, Sly Thief, your XP is based all on your performance. So there's various things in the matches that will give you points. For example, capping. Demolition is blowing parts off your enemy. getting kills and getting kill assists. So basically, the better you do in game, slash the better your team overall does, the more potential you have for points. There's also, I was showing you at the beginning, random parts that you might find that will give you, that will say increases reputation gain after battle by 1%. You want to put all of those on your car to give you as much experience as gain. And you're not going to find a ton of these, but you may find a couple of these early on. Alright, so yeah, it just means do better in every battle, and I'm gonna keep playing. Like, the guide's gonna end, but then I'm just gonna keep playing, and I'm gonna keep talking about like what's going on in the game. So as soon as I finish this season thing, I'm gonna get back into a game, and I'll show you kind of what to do, how to get more points in game. Because if you're in game and you're blowing parts off your opponent, you're destroying their wheels, you're getting more kills, you're getting more assists, you're gonna farm a lot easier and a lot quicker. The other thing to remember is you get a reputation bonus every day. So it gives you, I think, like 60,000 worth of rested bonus. So just bonus experience, where at first you play for the first couple hours of the day, and it's going to give you a ton of experience. And then as soon as that's over, your experience is going to drop way down. So ideally, if you were being super efficient, you would play that maximum, that time, and then you would not play, you would not grind. But of course, we're going to keep grinding. But back to this season thing real quick here, because this is the most important thing here. The reason why this is so important is because the reward for this is a purple crate, which means any epic part, except for tracks. The reason why that's so good is because the purple parts are worth the most. So whether or not you want to use the item, you can sell the item to get another different purple. So this should be your goal. Again, if you're going more than just casual, if you're just casually playing this a couple times a week, it's going to be really hard, near impossible to do this. If you're grinding this game, you are going to have a shot at this. I'll also be doing this week, so I'll be down to help people and get help from people doing this, because you do need a good group of people to do this. You're not going to be able to solo this entirely without a little bit of luck. You can definitely do it with some luck, but it's really clean and smooth if you have a good group. So literally, you're just going to read this. So boosters of rarity and higher. So how do I do that? So boosters, you go to factions. You go to boosters. You know that the lunatics are the speed guys, so they probably have boosters. You go to blue, and we're just going to look for boosters. Rocket booster. Okay, so you craft the booster. That's all I did. You farm the materials, you craft the booster, and then we'll talk about the raids in just a second, because you'll have to do the raids to get some of these. So you've gotten the rare booster. Now you have to pay attention to what this says. It's a little interesting. It says install booster. So all you have to do is just put the booster on your car, go to PvP, because missions and brawls, PvP, and then win 10 battles. That's it. Put the booster on your car, obviously put some other guns, and just win. That's an easy one. Like, that's a lucky / easier one. It's a little better if it's, a weapon or a gun, just because you just kill, but this means I have to put 1 energy point to a booster instead of a gun, but hey, whatever, I'll take it. Now, this is where it gets harder. Destroy 40 raiders. Use machine guns of rarity or higher. Install drones, mobile drone of rarity and higher. For 0 of 40, this is not, because this is going to take a bit. There's kind of 2 main reasons why this takes a bit. Both, I need to craft 2 different items, 2 different rares, in order to be able to even start this. Secondly, it has to be completed in hard raids. Now let's talk about raids. Raids. PvE. Team fights a player of raiders. There's easy raids, there's medium raids, and there's hard raids. Hard raids are very hard if you don't know what you're doing. Luckily, right now, if I could do this, this would be glorious, but I unfortunately cannot, because it will expire in 29 minutes and they will rotate. But, so there's easy, there's easy hard ones, there's really impossible hard ones. There's something called invasion. for the season, hard season, you're going to have to complete those things in the hard raids. So I would have to go into this cargo race and I'd have to destroy 40 raiders. The problem with that is the cargo race isn't about, you know, killing raiders, it's about doing the cargo race objective. So your season is going to be a little tricky to accomplish objective based on the raids, and you know, just out of the timing of it, you're going to have to just do what you can do. So again, machine guns, drones. So I would go here, I would look, I see that no machine guns, I see, okay, no machine guns, and so I see machine guns. So I would have to get these, use those, and then I need to install drones. So you can see I'm not even there yet. Right now what I'm actually trying to do is I'm trying to get level 4 so I can buy this. Luckily I have the machine gun already. My next goal is going to be craft this drone. So that's literally the next thing I'm doing right now, is I'm trying to get to level 4 so I can craft this drone. And then I'm going to have to go into the hard raids. The reason why it's going to take forever is because it costs 100 fuel, if you noticed, to do a hard raid. So raids cost fuel. What is fuel? Well, fuel's like what we were talking about before. You can farm those fuel barrels because they'll only give you 200 fuel per day. So I could do 2 hard raids before, you know, I'd be out of fuel. So I would have to farm those PvP battles, get that fuel, and then what you can do is you can put your fuel into your fuel tank. You click the little thing and it says, do you want to pour 100 fuel into the tank? This will allow you to start another raid. And you would have to do those, right? And you would complete those and you would keep farming those. So it's going to take you a little bit of time to get 100 fuel because you could only do 2 per day otherwise. And you know, I'm not going to complete this in 2 goes. I'm not going to kill 20 raiders in 1 raid. I mean, I could. That would be probably pretty hard though. And you're just going to go through. And so this is the hardest one in my opinion. Win 5 battles, because it's completed in hard raid. So you have to go to the raids and you have to win the raid. So you not only are you just killing raiders, but you have to actually win the raid. So this is my least favorite. And you have to have unguided rockets of rarity or higher. So you're literally just going to go through all of these and slowly but surely craft what they want you to craft and just go through. Use shotguns. This mission's in brawl. So this is great because this is shotguns and it's destroy players. So this is going to take like, you know, 5 games, you know, 10 games and we're done. Max. So that's easy. That's going to be great. Win 5 battles. This is going to be hard again. And again, the reason why it's just going to be so hard is because without a good group, there's some raids, hard raids, that you're not going to be able to do. You can see right now, PS score 4,000. I don't even, oh yeah, I'm not using my main vehicle, but I don't even think I have something that's 4,000 yet. So that's kind of the tricky part, is you have to use your fuel really smart. Again, the hard season is the most important one. It's going to be the hardest to complete, but remember, you have to do it in hard raids. The PvP ones are obviously the easiest. This is great. Destroy 30 players, no requirements. This is perfect. Can't wait till we get to that. Here we go. Win 5 battles, install drones. So that's another hard one. Destroy 20 players. That's not bad. Although you have to use the rockets. So you notice there how it says use rockets instead of install rockets? So that means you actually have to deal damage with the rockets instead of them just having them installed. So there's a lot of little complicated stuff that they throw in here. But again, hard season, that should be your goal if you're grinding. If you're just casual, you know, look at the medium season. It's a lot easier. You just do medium things. But again, the reward, a blue, if you know, doing this is a ton of trouble and it's going to prevent you from doing the purple, then that's why I don't really bother with it. You want to make sure you do that purple first and then you do the blue. Lastly, the easy. The easy is nice because it gives you scrap metal, which there's a limitation to how much you can farm per week. I think they give you 2,800 per week that you can farm total. So if you're not doing the season, you basically just are capped, you know, at that amount. So I just go through this when I can and complete it. And let's just see. So these are the ones that I've made. And here's my race car. And I don't want to load those because it'll take away my little starter car here, and I just want to use something that, you know, has all basic stuff on it. So that's kind of the rundown. And again, that purple crate, that Pathfinder's crate, that's kind of your goal if you're giving this game a real shot. And right now what I need to do is I need to unlock this to level 4. So this could be, oh no. So here's a perfect example of what's rough. I want to do a raid, right? I want to do an easy raid because I just need EXP, and I want to do this. I can't do the hard one right now. I'm just not able to. It's just literally not possible. But I don't want to do these heists. And these are the only options for easy raid right now. So I have to wait 22 minutes and 40 seconds. And here's one issue with the game that I think they're going to change and fix a lot of this stuff. Alright, there's a lot of these timers where right now if you go to Brawl, there are no brawls that you can even participate in. And I think pretty soon they're going to change it so that you can have at least, you know, something going on here. So yeah, basically this is kind of what's unfortunate is I just have to wait for 22 minutes. So let's just play some PvP. And let's just get in there. I need to level up anyway, so let's get back into a match. But yeah, really I have 100 fuel, right? And I'm just going to have to wait for 20 minutes, then we can do a raid. The reason why the raids are so good is because they will give you copper. We haven't really talked about what it takes in order to craft some of the items, but you have scrap metal, which you saw, you have copper, you have wires, and you have electronics. And then you have the additional, you know, materials that it needs. Machine gun, cannon, radio, blah 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 blah. All the normal stuff. The reason why that's important is because, again, you're going to be capped at how many of these you can farm. And the only way to get copper is to buy it on the market. And also to... So this dude's honking back here, alerting our enemies if they were nearby. You can only buy copper on the market, and you can get it from raids. So you can't get, like, unlimited... Oh, that guy's got drones. You can't just get unlimited copper. What are they doing? They're just driving by us. Oh, shit. You can see sometimes I'm bad and I let my guns overheat. I definitely do it. I'm not perfect. But ideally, if I was perfect, I would never let my guns overheat. Oh shit. Those turrets are so deadly. Alright, so the enemy is capping our base, so this is not good. That means if we don't kill all of them and they beat us in score, they will win. So we could have all of us alive, and they could have higher score than us at the top, and we would lose. So the base is actually really important. But what it does is it kind of gives teams a way to win if they're not, like, necessarily stronger or have worse guns. Whoa. Wait, so did that person just lag or leave the game? Well, that guy has a missile drone? Okay, nice. So we got everyone. Hey, Sly Thief, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. If you have, you know, any other questions, feel free to throw them out there. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the guide is kind of the guide's kind of covered, so everything now is just kind of extra. I'll try to, you know, point out, you know, what I'm doing.